Hello?
That's better. Can you hear me? Yes, I am. My Microsoft. How you doing?
Thing is, the brain is
equalizer work for you?
Yes.
All right, perfect. You first, buddy. All the best. You up?
Yes. Okay.
It's not. I think it's a leap we will take, and whether it may be a leap we take in this stepwise way where we build machines down a path that is not at all analogous to
100.
Does allow us to then understand the brain totally. Where we upload ourselves, if that makes any sense.
Come on. 18.
I think information processing is at bottom what intelligence.
122.
Any intelligent system is processing information, and our brains are doing that. And any machine that is going to exhibit
37, 46.
And surpass us will be doing, I think, if it's in software, something deeply analogous to what our brain, and we may not get there based on directly emulating what our brains are doing. We may get there before we actually
24.
It's always very interesting to me how it seems to be there's always pushes and pulls in life. And when you have things that are as horrific as factory farming and people are exposed to it, then there's this rebound. And where
59.
And I always wonder, like, will that be the first artificial life we create, like zombie cows? So maybe we figured out that actually moving around for it to be good for you. Maybe they'll come up with some idea to just look. We're going to make zombies. We're going to make livestock that essentially can just move forward and consume food. There's no thought whatsoever. These are zombies. You go right up to them, you wave your hand in front of them, they don't even move. Is it okay to kill those? And then go from that to making artificial people. Because it seems to me that artificial people, it's gonna happen. I mean, it's just a matter of how much time. If they're making bladders, then they're gonna start making all sorts of different tissues with stem cells to try to replace body parts and organs, and they're gonna work their way through an actual human body. It's gonna happen.
You mean
29?
Brainless person that would be like spare parts for you?
Or sure, that's an option, but I think also artificial humans. Years.
13.
If human beings, rather. If human beings continue to evolve technologically, within the next 1,000 years, we're going to have artificial people that are completely.
So you mean that people? So we can build a biological person, 100%. So it's a synthesized person, robot. You're talking about an actual person, built up, cell. There's no reason why that's not possible. Whether or not we would do it is another question. But I had to decide.
35.
I think the experiences of human embryos, I believe they are.
2.
Yeah. China's a big place, though. Can't remember them all in there. But, what is that gene splicing software? CRISPR. They're using CRISPR on.
Oh, come on, man. 16.
Good luck. Good luck. It's super athletes.
There are many issues there, but changing the genome, especially when you're talking about changing the germline, that it gets passed on to future generations, that has big implications. But I don't see why it's like the artificial meat conversation. Meat is ethically the same thing as, at least in my view, would be the same thing as producing a brainless cow. right? So you have
Oh, fuck me.
that you could slaughter, but it has no brain, so
25.
presumably.
Are you there? Hello?
Steak.
Two.
So why have the fur?
All right, that's back.
You don't want,
Let's load that.
kind of the energy.
Hello?
Yep, I'm here.
I think with like
Yeah, I was just refreshing. I got 25 on my first shot. What was yours?
yourself.
Okay. I go 60.
Yeah, go into P60 now. Okay, that should work.
You get spare kidneys.
And someone was freezing on my end. Sorry about that.
We would
Yeah,
just
no problem.
print the kidneys, and that is because that gets around a lot of the weirdness, right? It'd be weird to have a copy of yourself. That's just just
Oh,
not spare parts.
47.
It wouldn't be weird, or at least in my view, it wouldn't be weird. It'd be fantastic if it would go into a hospital and your kidney, and they just take a cell, print you your kidney.
Yeah. I think that can be expected.
Yeah.
That's gonna, I mean, if it's possible. It seems like it's happening. It's amazing. But I always want to extrapolate things to some years from now for some reason. Because I've been since I got into history, it really fucked my mind up about how I think about the past in this way.
Oh, wow.
I look like 1,000 years ago.
35, 43.
And I try to think, how much different will people be? You're probably way more different. You know, I mean, the fascination that we have with ancient history, one of the things, obviously, we want to know where we came from, but also we can kind of see people today doing similar shit if they were allowed to. Like if everything went horribly wrong, people at their base level are kind of similar today as they were 1,000 years ago.
One of them might be running for president.
About that. And when I think about the future 1,000 years from now, with the way technology is accelerating and just the capacity that we have and ability to change things, to change the world, change physical structure, to dig into the ground and extract resources. Like we're getting better and better at changing things, manipulating things. Power from the sun and extracting salt from the water. There's like all this bizarre change technology that's consistently and constantly going on in people. It continues to get better.
Yeah, right. Never mind. 26.
Concept of being able to read each other's minds and being able to map imagery and pass it back and forth from mind to mind, like a clear spreadsheet. Like, what is that movie? Minority Report. Thank you. I mean, that's on the way. It's on the way. It's going to be incredibly strange to be a person.
Yeah, whether we will beat people.
24.
Unless we have done something. Society. With there'll be many different species. It's like tattoos. I mean, you have a bunch of tattoos. I have none. You could take that a lot further if you can just begin.
5.
Oh yeah, if you want to get married with bolts married,
Give yourself
Good shot.
different genetic abilities, right? I mean, like you could just go, you could become a different species if you took it far enough.
maybe that's what they're doing. I mean, that's why they all need to figure it out. You gotta look alike. Otherwise, you can't appreciate each other. One guy's weird looking, one guy's short, one guy's got a big nose. Everybody's so confusing. And so many people like it hate. Everybody look exactly the same.
Good one.
We have a problem with this good looking thing. It's holding us back. Some people, they're stupid. We gotta all look the same. Blank, emotionless. That's it. They all just went in.
With a passion for molesting cattle.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, kid.
My podcast. Yeah, this about this.
Yes, I have. Why have I heard of it?
He gave at least one TED talk. He's written two very good books. First came out about 10 years ago, The Fabric of Reality, and the more recent one is The Beginning of Infinity. And
Very nice.
extremely smart guy and very nice guy. And he this thesis, which he and I don't totally agree about the implications going forward for AI, but he's convinced me that of his basic thesis, which is fascinating, which is this
17.
the role that knowledge plays in our universe, or the potential role that it plays. And his argument is that in any corner of the universe, anything that is compatible with the laws of physics can be done with the requisite knowledge. So that his argument about how deep knowledge goes, and therefore how valuable it is. So if giving off your notion of building an artificial person, cell by cell or atom by atom, if that, there's every reason to believe that's compatible with the laws of physics. I mean, we exist, right? So we got built by the happenstance of biology. If we had what he calls a universal constructor, this machine that could assemble any other machine atom by atom, we could do anything atom by atom, right? And so he has this vision of it, like you could literally go into an area of deep space that is as close to a vacuum as possible, and
Stop blowing the damn dark.
Spray nitrogen atoms and fuse them together and create heavier elements. I mean, you start with nothing but hydrogen, right? And with the requisite knowledge, you build your own little fusion reactor, create heavier elements, and based on those elements, create
1926
that can then assemble anything else, atom by atom, including more of itself, right? And you could start this process of building from a person to something far more advanced than a person,
To a planet?
maybe just anything is made of atoms, right? Anything is organized, and so the limiting factor in that case is always the knowledge, right? So it's either the limiting factor is
90.
the law of physics, either this can't be done because it's physically impossible.
One dot.
Is that?
And given that human beings are physically impossible, there should be some knowledge path whereby you could assemble atom by atom. There's no reason why.
I'm sorry, it's 35 bucks.
It would be possible for us to acquire that knowledge. The horizon of knowledge is just extends functionally without limit. Nowhere near the place where we know everything that's knowable. As
51.
A human atom by atom. But when you imagine just the changes that would occur
45.
with the frontiers of knowledge explored 10,000 years beyond where we are now, we would be unrecognizable to ourselves. Everything would be equivalent to magic.
Come on.
See it. And most of human history is not like that.
34.
If you dropped into any period of human history, it is, for all intents and purposes, identical to the way it was 500 years before, 500 years. Only very recently, where you would drop in and be surprised by the technology and by the culture and by the being done with language and the consequences of cooperation.
28.
Like I said. So I mean, it's one place where someone like Kirsten makes a lot of sense. This is clearly accelerating, and if we don't do something catastrophic
Holy shitballs.
to set us back, this acceleration is
17.
indication is that the future is going to be far less recognizable than in any other period of time.
100.
The idea of creating a little machine that you could shoot out into the universe and build you a planet.
But the planet's not the most. The planet's obviously big and the basis
89.
of our biosphere and everything we care about. But the planet is not what's complicated. It's the
59.
life on the planet. And,
Right.
our own brains being the ultimate example of that complexity. But presumably, intelligent systems can become much more complex than that. Right? There's no reason
24.
we are near the summit of possible intelligence, biological or otherwise. And yeah,
59.
once you begin thinking about building things atom by atom, then the future begins to look very weird because it's automating that process, right? And this is the promise of nanotechnology.
96.
Tiny machines that can build more of themselves, more of anything else that would be made of
24.
anything atom by atom, or treat your own body like a machine.
Oh, wow. 21.
Yeah, and that's where the physical world begins to look just totally fungible. We're not talking about surgery where you're touching someone's head and hoping, coarse ways, hoping you're not taking out areas of brain that they need. But you're talking about actually repairing. If you can tinker with atoms in a way that you understand, then you're talking about repairing anything.
15.
Like literally Dr. Manhattan stuff. Build ice condos on Mars. You
2 dots.
could do anything.
Is that-
There's just somehow another half to be programmed with whatever pattern you're trying to create. So
Yeah.
you could essentially like make an Earth somewhere else with all the biological diversity, water, even intelligent life. It all could be done with some sort of a machine.
Well,
One day.
it is at bottom, again, just the information, it's the knowledge of how it's organized and how to implement it. So it's like, it's analogous to what happens
64.
in films now, where like the animation in films, good suddenly, right? Where you can see, you can animate, waving hair and fluid water, and it's pretty damn good. It looked terrible 30 years ago, right? And we just acclimated to it looking terrible. But now you can really trick the eye. You can build up scenes of nature where they're not actually using any photography of nature for filming. It's just all a confection of ones and zeros, right? It's just
45.
Like the Revenant, perfect example. The giant bear. The attacking the other camera.
right. See, I don't know how that was done, but I heard that was all just pure CGI.
Yeah, when
92.
they do the costume that acted it out with them, but essentially it's all CGI.
So the fact that that's beginning to look good, that's just all surface. That has no implication for the
Come on.
building a rendering of a bear on film is not the same thing as building a bear. But the fact that we can move
27.
so far into building, modeling that kind of complexity visually,
60.
super intelligent mind could do with 1,000 years to work at it, right? And that's we're on the cusp of.
Oh, wow.
Cusp,
65.
5 years, but let's say a century. We're on the cusp of producing the kind of technology we'll have.
And if we put it into perspective, photography, I don't believe was even invented until the early 1800s. Yeah, when it was
Yeah.
first. Was there photographs of Lincoln throughout that?
Yeah.
So was that the early 1800s when he?
Yeah. I
When
think,
was Lincoln killed?
1860s.
1865. So somewhere after that, or somewhere before
55.
that, invented photography. Yeah. So that's so essentially, give or take 10 years, 200 years ago. That's really amazing. If you stop to think about the revenue,
Silent. We just couldn't figure out how to get sound in their movies and stuff.
but that
100 years ago.
that thought right there actually just freaked me out.
What the?
The 200-year thought, like how little 200 years was the
26.
Mongol days, and now 200 years ago they didn't even have cameras, and now we do. And now they have this insane ability to recreate things like Game of Thrones, wolves and dragons, and she's driving around a dragon. I'm like, yeah, it looks like she's on a tree. It doesn't look like King Kong movies. You know, you ever try to watch those?
Yeah.
Great Harry.
Yeah. No, they're awesome. Pleasure in that.
Do
They're so
Yeah,
awesome.
sure. I'm gonna reload.
Stuck on.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright.
And there's another feature here of the compounding power.
Alright, here we go. 146.
Yeah.
Where there's certain games that are truly incremental, where it's just everything is hard won, everything is just 1% better than its predecessor. But then there are other games
36.
created ability that takes you. It seems like a quantum leap beyond where you were, and where you go from just fundamentally not being able to
Hey,
do
dog.
anything.
There it is. Well done.
Like this example.
I think that.
For the longest
Yes, that's it.
time,
Hey, thanks again. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
heavier than air, and